So you see here are the nodes and the roots already growing, and here is another one. So you can cut either from the very bottom, and then you will have 1, 2, even 3 nodes ready to get roots, to grow roots. However, I may cut actually between these nodes so that from here maybe there will be another stem growing. Welcome to Anna's Violets. Today I'm going to talk to you about this wonderful philodendron, which is so beautiful with these almost yellow leaves. But I put this yellow background here so that you see on the yellow background it's actually really neon green, like really light green, very beautiful green. And this is Malay Gold variety. It's also called Golden Goddess or Lemon Lime. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about care tips, how I take care of it, and also I'm going to show you how you can easily propagate this variety from cuttings. And on this channel we're talking about plants and gardening. So if you're growing plants, if you like plants, if you just started to grow plants, or you have a collection of plants, you may want to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell button to be notified of all the videos that I post about plants and gardening every week, sometimes even twice a week. So let's start from the light, because I think that this is the most important thing for the plants. If you have your plant in the right place with the right amount of light, then your plant most probably is going to thrive. So the best place for this will be, for example, a little bit far from the window. If you have, for example, sun in the morning or in the evening and your plant is just a little bit far from the window, so it doesn't see the hot burning sun throughout the day, but it can see this very bright indirect sunlight, then this will be the perfect place for this plant to grow. They're really easy growers. As for the watering, you can just keep the soil moist. Don't overwater, and of course don't underwater as well. And these plants like air humidity. They grow aerial roots, and these aerial roots, if you spray them, if you have air humidity quite high in your area, they will be just thriving. You can also grow them attached to a moss pole. So for example, when you buy them and they're pretty small, they can still grow straight. However, when they grow into bigger plants, maybe you will need to have some kind of support for them. So you can use maybe a moss pole, moss stick, and if you want to know how to repot your plant together with a moss pole, and also how to take care of the moss pole so that your plant is thriving with the moss pole, you can watch this video here. So this one will be about Pothos, and I repotted it together with a moss pole so that it starts to climb on it. As for the propagation, this plant is growing many babies, many new plants just from the soil, from the base. So when you repot, you can actually divide your plant, and then you can have several. Of course, bear in mind that you need to have a part of the stem, not only the leaves, not only just one leaf, but stems. And also it can be 1 node or 2 nodes. So if you have 2 nodes, then most probably your cutting will be much stronger and have higher chances to give roots and grow other plants from that stem. And if you want to try, if you're more experienced, you can maybe try just with 1 node. This may be a little bit difficult, however, it's still possible. And this plant is growing aerial roots very easily. If you spray your plant or if you grow them attached to the moss pole, you will have lots of aerial roots. So if you cut between the nodes, and most probably you will already have some aerial roots. And if you plant these cuttings directly in the soil, these aerial roots will grow into the soil, and your plant will be ready to grow. It will be very easy for your cuttings to grow. By the way, as for the soil, make it really light one. So normally this usual universal potting mix will not be very suitable for this type of plants. So you can search for aerated soil, but also I can just quickly tell you that the soil should be very light, so you can have there just a little bit of potting mix, maybe just a little bit, but then the most part of it should be perlite, bark, just a potting mix for orchids. You can use that, plus add perlite if you don't have it there, and you will be good to go. So it will need to be really light so that the air ventilation is properly, and of course I always try to mention this, the pots. So use any pots, either plastic or clay pots, but make sure that they have holes, because it's very important for air ventilation, and the drainage holes are also very important for the excess of water to go out of the pot if you overwater it. And make sure if you grow them just like here in a ceramic pot, so they are in plastic pot and then ceramic pot, then make sure to remove the excess of water after watering and plant and place your plant back into the ceramic pot. Okay, now let me show you how to cut, how to have cuttings from this plant. So you see here are the nodes and the roots already growing, and here is another one. So you can cut either from the very bottom, and then you will have 1, 2, even 3 nodes ready to get roots, to grow roots. However, I may cut actually between these nodes, so that from here maybe there will be another stem growing, and this one will be already cut in, either to put in water to grow more roots, or I can plant it directly into the soil. So for this you take sterile scissors or pruners or a knife. So you see here is one node and here is the other, so I will just cut between them. Let me just hold the stem so that it's easier for me. Of course, it's better to take pruners, but my pruners are not so sharp and I decided to cut it with the knife. Let's see. Oh, you see the cutting, it's ready. And of course, it will be easier if you use pruners or scissors, then it will be much easier for you. And now we can put this cutting directly into the water and it will grow longer roots, then we can plant it. Now this is too much, the water here is too much. So you can put them directly in the water, just a little bit of water, don't put them deep into the water because they may get rotten. And you can wait for a week until the roots get longer and then you can plant it in the soil, or you can just directly right now plant them in the soil, plant the cutting in the soil because they have already roots here and they will just continue to grow in the soil. So if you liked the video, if you learned anything new from this video, please consider subscribing, click on the bell button, like button, and share your experience in the comments. Or if you have any questions, I will be really happy to answer all of them. Please write them down under the video. And you can also, of course, make friends with me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, of course, YouTube. Stay passionate about plants. See you next time.